Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 15 in the book of John. Now, believe it or not, Jesus makes wine, lots of wine. So join me today as we look at the story of the wedding celebration that Jesus participates in kind of secretly and also very bountifully. It shows him to the world in a new and generous and powerful way. And then the people that witness it, the question is, what do they do when they see it? And our question is, what do we do when we read about it? All right, so this is from John chapter number 2, and it's verse number 1. On the third day, there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there, Mary. Jesus was also invited to the wedding with his disciples. I love that part, that he was invited. When the wine ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "Woman, what does that have to do with me? My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Now, there were 6 stone jars there for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons, massive stone jars. Jesus said to his servants, "Fill the jars with water," and they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the feast." So they took it. When the master of the feast tasted the water now become wine and did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew, the master of the feast called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone serves the good wine first, and when people have drunk freely, then they'll pour wine. But you have kept the good wine until now." This, the first of his signs, Jesus did at Cana in Galilee and manifested his glory. And his disciples believed in him. After this, he went down to Capernaum and with his mother and his brothers and his disciples, and they stayed there a few days. Okay, so this story ends with a little bit of an explanation that this is the first of his signs. So what's a sign? Sign is a miracle, or it's this divine interruption and a superseding of the natural order. And it gives credence to Christ's power over the natural processes. It attests to his identity and kind of puts it in their face that maybe they can be led to belief over this miracle. That's what its purpose is to lead you to faith. So there's no neutrals about miracles. They demand a personal response for people that see them, either positively or possibly negatively. Now, John records only 8 of them or so in his gospel. Reason being, how many do you need? You believe in one or you don't? You believe in 2 or you don't? Well, how if I give you 1,000? Whatever pattern you've established on the first 8 is probably going to continue. So I think that's why he has less than some of the other Gospels. What they do is they manifest his glory. Now, what's glory? Glory is the showing. It's the revelation of his divine character and characteristics. So for the disciples, they have to ask, well, what can this guy do? They're very new in this ministry. We're only on chapter 2. And what does it mean? So what he does now, what does it mean about this guy, Jesus? It means he has the power over natural resources. We all know you can't turn water into good wine. It's never been done since. It shows Jesus' generosity. So there's gallons and gallons of this. We're going to do the math in a second. And there's this generous gift. They're going to have leftover, and the young couple's going to have all this wine in their wine cellar. And it shows his mercy of him kind of intervening in this shame-based culture with this being publicly exposed that they ran out of wine. It's funny that the first crisis of Jesus' public ministry is, hey, the wine ran out. When? During the wedding where there's supposed to be joy and blessing. In Proverbs chapter 3, it says, "May your vats be bursting with wine." It's actually used as a metaphor of God's spiritual blessing. Okay, so by going to this wedding, being invited to the wedding, going to the wedding, supporting it, it shows his support, endorsement, and celebration of an institution, ironically, that he invents. So Jesus is part of the organized society right that he created. He desires it. And I just love that he gets invited to this. So the characters in the story are the disciples, and they tell us at the end that the disciples believe at the end, which is one of the big purposes of a miracle. His mother is there. She's the one that charges the servants to do whatever. Jesus is obviously there. The master of the feast is there, but he doesn't know what's going on. The bridegroom is there. Bridegroom is there. He doesn't know what's going on, at least not yet. And then the servants, they're my favorite part of the story. So they were there from the beginning to the end. And they start with these big jars, and they put 25 gallons in each of them. So 6 times 25 is 150 gallons, which is 1,200 pounds of water. So these guys are lugging water somehow from somewhere to fill these jars. And they end up with what is 750 bottles of wine, 63 cases of wine. So I love the physicality and the volume and the generosity on one hand, and then the secrecy on the other. The master didn't know. So in conclusions, the idea with a miracle is believe it or not. Jesus makes wine, and he makes lots of it. This is not a subtle miracle. It's one of great volume and great generosity. He's there to celebrate this wedding, and the one who made the institution is there at the wedding. And it points to this future illustration of Christ in the church eventually. Mary knows, the disciples know, the servants know, and the idea is that miracles are for belief, or at least potentials for belief. Do you believe that Jesus turned 150 gallons of water into 750 bottles of wine? Do you believe that he has the power over the material universe? Do you believe that he inaugurated his ministry by participating in this great celebration? Do you believe that he did this to put this forward for this over-the-top generosity, this bountiful gift, this to put in front of us a decision for belief? Miracles are for belief, hopefully plus on the plus side, not the negative side. It's a sign that's in your face that may lead to faith. Miracle is a sign that's in your face that may lead to your faith. So believe it or not, Jesus makes wine, lots of it. The disciples believe. Do you? Thanks for listening.